do. Let's see. Maybe 7. Probably make a few more. Not in here. Ah, here they are. Hey, Frost. I'm drawing this way too small. Welcome. Think I'm working on card art tonight, or at least for the stream, and then I can work on other stuff when I'm off stream. If I decide to shift plans, then I will. Just a, well, it's kind of random. Just a card for Jolly's deck, part of his Royal Knights archetype. So this would be Ace. Oh, he does have one. It has all of his girlfriends in it. Yes, he does have a harem deck. I would have to make it very clear that their stuff would be made for cards, and that they would basically be giving up their rights, at least card-wise. Like, for whatever characters end up being cards, they make nothing from that. So that, like, assuming that would work out, sure, but otherwise that'd be a legal nightmare. So it is doable, but I'd have to ensure that that's the case. Custom cards are their own issue. Well, not really an issue, is just getting them printed would be not a problem, but it's just like it'd be better to like make it a set or something, just to justify the cost. So that part's not a bad idea, but it'd still cost money, so that's a whole... Nah, it'd probably still be the same issue, because if they're being sold at all, then that's what causes the problem. And they obviously can't be free unless people go out of their way to make custom cards themselves. In which case, then they'd just be known as proxies at that point. Hello, Pablo. Yeah, it's not a bad idea, it just comes with its own issues. Yeah, I still haven't done that either. Like, I was playing it for a while, and then I just got sidetracked with working on my own stuff. I very rarely play games now. other than Arknights, since it's like really easy to just jump in and jump out. One of these days I'll have to take some time to play some games other than Arknights. If you can call that a game, kind of depends on how you go about it. But yeah, as a technicality, yeah, it's a game of life. Graphics are amazing, but it's poorly optimized. Then again, I'm playing the furry class, so it's probably just a harder route. Go into the Doomguy helmet. Having a board game called Twinville. That would be a bit too meta in their case. Kiwi would just be like, all right, where's our royalties? She basically already questioned that when Eden had Jam's card. Yeah, basically that would be her reaction. She'd be like, whoever the artist was for this clearly got my rear end wrong. And Raz would be like, no, they didn't. Setting up stuff. I'm going to tweak all this in a moment. I mean, yeah, I could do whatever. I already showed them as comics. Um, Not a version of him, but it's definitely a representation of him, since he made the card game in the first place. Or not even a representation, like more of just like base. To put it simply, him stroking his own dick, and just, so he made a card that kind of resembles him. It's like the best way to put it. Actually, let's put it the other way. I'm doing card art at the moment. I don't want that higher up. Yeah, that could probably be a game. I have no idea what that is. Let me look that up real quick. Classroom of Heroes. I do not recall seeing this. I'll be honest, looking at it, it's probably not going to have anything interesting. Or is going to be like the cop out type of weight gain that most anime do. At least that's the feel it gives me based on its look. So I could be entirely wrong. Yeah, but it kind of just like for me, it's not just. I mean, it depends on what kind of the wigging, because sometimes you just have okay, they have a stomach that's just a round circle. Other times it's like okay, they're kind of fat, but it's more like they're just a little round, but then it like immediately goes away, type of situation. It kind of like defeats the point. Well, I'll have to check it out then. Hopefully it will be somewhat interesting. But yeah, I've never seen that anime. But yeah, every time, but like most of the time, every time they do stuff like that in anime, it's like really hidden, like a lot of miss, honestly. Very rarely do any of them actually hit, or they don't look like it's just a quick joke and then it just moves on. Trying to think if there's like an anime that actually commits to it. I'll say one of the only series that's committed to a character being actually fat and like it be canon, like it's like an ongoing thing. It wasn't like just for a joke. Is Tenjo Tenge or Tenyo Tenge? And I have the entire manga of that series. I never watched the anime, but the manga was really good. They made it more comedy. Okay, that's just further makes me think it's not going to be as interesting as I'm thinking. Because most of the time when they do it in anime, it's just like, okay, they have a round belly, or they're kind of fat, but not really. They just have like chubby cheeks and just a rounder body, but it's not like actual flab, or like, you know, it's not the kind of weight gain that we're thinking. To put it bluntly, it's not the cultured kind of weight gain. But yeah, I'll check it out. Doesn't hurt to look, and I don't want it to go that far. Let's just stop it up here. Yeah, I think that was her name, Emmy, from Tenyo Tenge. I mean, it's been a long time since I read that series. So, and I'm horrible with names to begin with. From Tiger Bunny, I've been meaning to watch that. just because it looked cool, but I just never found the time to do it. I should definitely make time for it. Because I used to watch like 2 anime shows on Saturdays. Lately, I've just been only watching Shadowverse on Saturdays, and then any other time I'm just watching Kamen Rider. So yeah, that I should make time to watch that. This will probably be a short stream today. Let's make this look a little bit better. Yeah, there's going to be a cards. In terms of card sets and all that, there's going to be a set before the Greenfield one because a lot of the cards were already made. So I figured I'd just finish off that set, and then the next one will be Greenfields, since they have very few cards made at the moment. Well, some of them need to be remade because the ones that were made were before they got the rework. So currently, only Kiwis is made with the new look. Kiwis and Jams. So I need to make a normal version of Kiwis, because currently the one that's made is the special version that was out for the limited time set. And then originally there were cards where all the girls got, well, the first 5 girls got fat, but I want to rework those cards because Marcy's card is currently the only, or cards are currently the only ones where she gets fat over time, but some of her versions are really weak because they require that you get rid of cards in order for her to become fat, which was somewhat remedied with Adult Marcy's card and Devil Chef Skylar. So I'm gonna look at that, how I went about that, and apply that to the Greenfield cards, so that way they're more useful. And then they're all gonna get unique cards, like Kiwis has to do with alcohol. So the others will have cards that cater to their main theme. So yeah, just trying to make the cards not too weak, but not too powerful either. So there'll be a balance around it. And then since Jam will be in the set, there's going to be like holy cards and celestial cards and all that. Most of the time I just remember, because like I already had like a unique idea for whatever the cards we're gonna do, but then sometimes I'll just look at the cards I've already made and just go off of those, because that way there's a better base to go off of. Because sometimes, you know, I'll have an idea and it's like, if I don't remember, then it probably wasn't that good of an idea to begin with. But most of the time I don't write things down. Like, I don't even write my story ideas down, because most of the time I've just had the same ideas stuck in my head for years. Like Bobby showing up in iHat, he's been a character that's been planned since like 2016, 17 at the latest. and he's just now showing up, and that's mostly because of me spending so much time on Marcy and Skylar. So he's been around for a very long time. And he was also one of the first adoptables that I ever got. Which reminds me, I need to clean up his initial artwork just so it doesn't have the writing on it. Because it just has like big words that just say adoptable written on it because the creator didn't have the original file anymore when I got him. So I'll just have to edit that out. But yeah, there's like a slew of characters and storylines that have been planned and, you know, just kind of sitting waiting for me to get to them. And a lot of times I'll just remember what their stories were off the bat because they were characters I had drawn and made and already planned out for a long time. So it's really hard for me to forget in that case. But if I ever feel the need that I need to write something down, then I will. Obviously, I can't remember everything. And if I feel it's important enough, then I definitely should. Will write it down. There we go. Do the rest of him in a moment. Just want to get his initial pose down. And then some ideas have changed because for the better. Because like maybe the initial idea wasn't as good as I thought it'd be. Welcome. Oh, so got the Becky outfit. Hey, Alex. Or the nun outfit. Come on. Load for me, Becky. Thank you. And let's get her Fibel. There we go. Oh yeah, let me put up what I'm referencing. This is like a really old ass card that needs updates. So all the effects on it aren't even gonna be what it does anymore. But this is the only source. I think this is the only source of its artwork. Yeah, this is the only source of the artwork because back then I was really stupid and didn't save the artwork separately. At least I don't think I did. Let me check just to be sure. Oh no, surprisingly, I actually have it separate. Yeah, hold on. Let me drag this over. Surprisingly, I have it separate, or somewhat separate. This is the one. So yeah, there's a really old ass card that I'm reworking. Trying to make it look less like Jolly. Yeah, the reason why I'm taking away a lot of the fluff is because Jolly's other versions basically look like this, but just more monstrous. So don't really need a repeat of that. And then plus we have normal Jolly, so no real reason to look this way. It just screams 80s. Well, I was born in 88, so I don't know if that counts. I'm more of a 90s person. God, the 90s was great. 90s was peak. I'll say 90s and early 2000s were peak. Because I want to say after like the 2010s was when shit started to get all... What's the word I'm looking for? Whiny, I guess. Or not even whiny, just sensitive. Everything started getting really fucking sensitive. Like when people went after an artist for drawing Amethyst from Steven Universe Skinny. And like people just hounded on that artist to the point where they... I think they just like deactivated their account. I think this was on DeviantArt if I remember right. I was like, what the hell is wrong with you people? Yeah, this was years ago when Steven Universe first came out. All because they drew Amethyst Skinny. And I think this was like during the time where people were like wanting more chubbier characters, or well, mostly women, chubbier women in media, which isn't a bad thing, but don't do what they did to that artist in order to make that happen. It's like, what the hell? If anything, you're just gonna make people want to do it less. And then the problem is that when those characters did get added into media, they were poorly written. So a lot of them just sounded whiny and entitled. And it was just like, what was the point of this? I think one of the most known ones is the I'm Not Starfire comics. And it just basically had to do with like chubby goth daughter of Starfire from the Titans. And I haven't read any of it. I just know bits of what was going on through it, but it was mostly just like the character just being bitchy for like almost no reason. And like making it seem like, oh, just because her mom is blah 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 blah, everything's like has to be all special and look pretty type of thing. And granted, you can make a story based off of that, but from the way I saw it presented, I was like, there are better ways of going about that. But I'd have to actually read it to have a better opinion of it. But from what I was shown, it didn't seem very well done. Because like you can make a story out of anything, it's just what matters is execution. And I don't like that, I'll just leave it alone. Maybe put smaller ones. There we go. And let's pull this out a little bit more, just so it looks like he's actually wearing it. yeah, like they could have like it's fine of her focusing on, you know, she doesn't look a particular way, or, you know, she's not her mom, blah 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 blah. That's fine, but then have the character grow from that. Like have her do something on her own, like in like, because I know very little of the character, so like let's just assume if I assume she has no powers, for example, then she can do things without the need of powers. Like if she never got superpowers, assuming that that's the case in the comic, she can, like, you know, grow into her own character. So I'll have to sit down and actually read some of those comics just to see if she ever changes. But yeah, it was just kind of like, if honestly, from what I understand, the character was more of a self-insert of the author or whoever was making it, if I remember correctly. So, but yeah, and that's like another problem, is where people take, well, in this case this was a newer character, but other times people will take existing characters and warp them for whatever, I guess minority would be the phrase I'm looking for. They'll like warp the characters to fit the whatever minority that they're trying to appeal to, or certain groups and all that. So they'll take characters like, I guess one of the most known ones was Iceman from X-Men, where they made him gay for some reason. And then they tried to make it say like, oh, he was like that the whole time. I was like, that makes no sense, because I've read the older comics and I know damn well he wasn't. And again, perfectly fine with gay characters. Just make a new character and make them well written. I don't understand how this is a problem. Like, you got everyone's managed to write every other type of character, but when it comes to gay or whatever else, somehow, some way, people are just unable to write those characters. So I don't get it. Sometimes I feel it's intentional. I mean, we've seen people write the most ridiculous type of characters. So I'm pretty damn sure they could write people who are into the same sex. Honestly, if anything, that's probably the easiest thing you could probably do. Just write them like normal people. That's basically it. Make it like not so obvious that's what the character's like. Don't make gay the character. Make a character who is gay. Done. And I think a lot of the time, a lot of them just fall into like the stereotype of like, okay, this is how most people know a certain type of person is, so they'll just make that as the stereotype, instead of, you know, making the character normal. They'll just make it really fucking obvious that that's what the character is all about. So like, you know, for like example, again, gay, a lot of the time they'll just make the character really effeminate. And on one end that's fine, but on the other end it's like most of the time that's all you see. And they don't like put in the effort of, you know, making the character act normal or just like a person. So I don't know. Maybe I'm off on that, but I just feel it's not a difficult task. And it could be that maybe the people writing them did not want to write those type of characters to begin with, and that's why they make it so obvious and so like one note, because that could entirely be the case. And sometimes that does happen. Sometimes writers are forced to do something to characters that they didn't want to do. And then other times, writers have the power, and so they insert things that they think is a good idea, and it ends up ruining a comic. And even though it's a gamble, they're way better off making original characters. With that said, they shouldn't make characters that are super obvious on what they're trying to aim for. Like, I think this was in Marvel. There was one character named Safe Space. I was like, really? What was it? Because there was like a team of that. Hold on. Yeah, they're part of the New Warriors. What were their names? No, that's not their names. Where are they? Okay, so we got Screen Time, Snowflake, Safe Space, B negative, which I think B negative is okay because they've used him in other stories, and he was fine the way he was. Trailblazer, I forget what her thing. I think she had like a backpack that pulled random stuff out, which is funny because there's a character in Venture Brothers named Fat Chance who could do that. But yeah, they just had all those characters. I'm just like, what? I think their comic got canceled already because it wasn't like anything interesting. But I did see B negative in the Darkholm comic, so at least he had like some moment of just being himself. I think he gets killed by Blade though in that universe. But it was like a potential universe, so it wasn't like a canonical thing. The things I support. Sorry, I'm like backtracking on in case I missed something. So far I have 37 cards made for that set. So I need to make 14 more, or 17 more. And then order them, proof them, and then they'd be good to go. Yeah, and then the set after that will be the Greenfield ones, because that way they'll have their most of the pack to themselves. Like I'll still throw in cards from other archetypes and then some like generic any deck cards, but definitely want to give the majority of the deck to them, of the cards to them, or set to them. Leave that alone, I think, or fix it up a bit more. You want to see Becky Fuda? I mean, you do you, man. Not saying I won't ever draw something like that, but not in the plans at the moment. I mean, I've already drawn Fuda before. I've drawn Plum. What kind of junk would she have? A good fucking question. I mean, technically, that part of her body is a alligator. If you want to get technical. I don't know, just do whatever. Just have fun with it, honestly. Yeah, I figured horse would probably be people's go-to with her. Like, I was thinking it, but I was like, if I'm being technical here, it would be gator. But I didn't want to say anything just to see if anybody would get to the same conclusion. Well, like I said, I mean, have fun. I mean, it's not hurting anything if you do it the way you want to do it. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, you didn't even do it accurate. Like, I'm not gonna lose my shit over that. I'm not like that. There's I forget who they are, but or what their name was. But there's one. I don't even know if they're an artist. I just know that they commission their character a lot, and they do not like it if anybody that they have not commissioned or approved or whatever. They do not like it if their character gets drawn, because they have like a particular what's the word I'm looking for? Quality that they are looking for when it comes to their character being drawn. Yeah, I think I'll just leave that for the arms. Or for the hands. like I said, do what you like. Have fun with it. Honestly, they're probably similar to dragons. But can always get creative. You don't have to follow what everyone else has done. There you go. Hands are weird, man. Too small. No. That's cute. And give him his scarf since Jolly has one. No, that's cute. Likely it won't make it the same pattern as Jolly's, since that'll keep it unique to him. But he'll still get the scarf. Check something real quick. Right, just checking, seeing if OnlyFans has approved me yet. They're like, no. I'm like, no, can't do that. We gotta figure out your. We gotta make sure that the stuff you're trying to make subscription for is what you're trying to do. I'm like, yes, it is. I just want to draw, damn it. Why is this a difficult task? This one's a little bit shorter. At least I have Subscribe Star if that ever becomes a necessary thing. I just made the OnlyFans on a whim, honestly. But might as well do something unique with it. Okay, so I think I got what I wanted. Looks alright. Now to grab Jolly's colors. You over here. For a brief moment, I was like, do I have a version of him without his sweater on? And I was like, no, I do not. Oh, he's already had the harem. He's had his girlfriends. And don't think I'm gonna use the white at all. Do want that yellow though. Oh, that's something else I'm working on. Save. There it is. Hello, Shiburyuki. Welcome. How did they fall for him? Basically, just met them under different situations, and then they all ended up living together. Although Mia is the jealous one. She'd prefer to have him alter herself, but she's willing to put up with the others. Oh yeah, I forgot to do his other hand. Do that in a moment. Yeah, only involves a little bit more fighting than normal. Like, in terms of like the actual storyline that they're from. In terms of just how shit goes on in their house normally, yeah, it's just typical harem shit. And then they're all different body types, so that helps things along. They need to update their art because so far only Mia has gotten new artwork. No, Zoe also has new artwork. So Mia and Zoe. So I need to draw the other. No, Mia, Zoe, and Venus. Okay. So I need to draw the other. Should be 7 of them, if I'm correct. Hold on. It's been a while. I'm pretty sure there's 7. It's like I know their names, but I just sit there and didn't count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's 7. Okay, just making sure. I was like, I'm pretty sure there's 7. It's like I'm 100% sure it's 7, but for some reason I have to question it. Of the girls and all that. They've been in comic. Well, not all of them, but they've been in comics. I just haven't focused on them purely because some of them have been in like World Gates. Zoe has appeared in I Hat in the restaurant with Jolly, but a lot of this has to be reworked because a lot of things have changed since then. So it's one of those things I'll eventually go into rebooting. Which reminds me, I still need to do something for World Gates this year, since it's the 20th anniversary. So I need to do something with it. Maybe I'll just make it a point to do like a short comic, just to kind of move things along, or continue on a comic for like a month or so. We'll see. See what I can do with it when the time comes. Although I prefer to try to work on something beforehand. I will make the attempt. Get the parts that I can't in a moment. Hey, Jet. And it has a bit of a Kamen Rider influence now. I'm fine with that. I'm very curious on where they're going with Kamen Rider Outsiders. Hopefully it brings back Decade. Or hopefully Decade appears in Gotchard or has some special or whatever. Because they did Decade dirty with that stupid special. That was the worst use of the character. At least the actor that played Decade has like his own Kamen Rider like series on YouTube. And by the looks of it, it's doing well. And I do not like how I did that, so let's fix that. Easier if I do it this way. There we go. Oh, crystal. It's been a while since I've drawn crystal. Because I've only drawn her like, what, three or four times. This white. Here's parts. Actually, at this point, they might as well be even better. We'll see. Look at both. There's white. Yeah, pretty much looks the same. I'll just stick with the metal. But this one down here does need to be white. I get you. Yeah, today's gonna be a short stream. That way I can get to working on a few other things once this is getting close to done. Actually, I'll leave that alone. Cover this and this, put these on the same layer. Because I want to try to add texture to that. God damn it. Oh, at least I know we're that way. There we go. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, I like it. Kind of breaks up all that red. I think that should be good. Don't need this anymore. Oh yes, yes I do. I want them chicken thighs. I still think it would have been interesting to see the FNAF characters normal before they got corrupted in Security Breach. Like, the previous games were fine because that's the whole point of them being haunted, but since Security Breach is basing things off of a computer virus, they should have at least shown the characters normal. Because mostly Roxanne and Freddy kind of give you a really good glimpse of how they could have been, and it just kind of sucks that we don't get that context. Yeah, but we don't see them actually being themselves. Like, we don't hear any dialogue from them. Like, the closest we get is Roxanne talking to herself in the beginning of the game, and then of course the stuff from the Ruin DLC, but that's it. And then of course, you know, how Freddy acts, but that's it. We don't get what Chica is supposed to do other than like a voice recording for her maser size, but that's like kind of it. And then probably something similar from Monty's area, but like we don't get any glimpse of their normal personalities. Because Security Breach just kind of throws you in there, and you're just supposed to assume everything that's happening. Yeah, but all she's really doing is just going on and eating stuff, which in the game they already said that was like becoming a problem because she started doing that, and that was due to the viruses and all that, which was why they're like, all right, we gotta lock up all the stuff, and we're getting tired of cleaning out Chica's endoskeleton because of her binging. But we don't know what she was like before then, because I think the other closest thing we get is when Freddy collapses on stage. Chica runs towards him to aid him, and that's like the closest we get to her being like caring. And then of course her rocking out on the guitar. So it would have been interesting to see what she's like if she's just like, you know, chilling and jamming and stuff like that. But we don't get any of that. But that's okay, that's what artists are for. We'll have to do it ourselves. I'm pretty sure like fan art carries like a shit ton of the indie game series at this point. Because fan art just gives people like a headcanon of how the characters are. Or could be. Well, Roxy has an ego, but then based on Ruin, she doesn't seem to act that way at all normally, because she gets a reset. And then the only other close to that personality is the announcement recording when you go to her raceway in the Security Breach, but we don't see the robot acting that way, or acting normal, until Ruin. And then in Ruin, she doesn't act all self-centered at all when she's reset. Because you gotta remember, they were being corrupted by the virus first, before we even know anything. Guitar Hero mods. That's funny. But yeah. Like, it would have been interesting to see how they acted normally. I am very well, no, because like even in the security breach, they do say that Moon started acting really creepy, and that children were afraid afraid of nap time at a certain point. So it's very hinted that not all of those occurrences happened all the time. Like it wasn't a normal thing. And then the only other part that irks me is that, well, no, because if we're going off of the books, which apparently is becoming more and more of a thing, it wasn't Glitchtrap. It was another thing called a Mimic Virus, or Mimic 1, which basically is making all of the animatronics copy personalities and traits that they see other people doing. But because they're mimicking so many things all at once, it's just like mixing and matching and corrupting whatever the hell they're doing, so they're becoming off balanced. But that's if we're going off of that idea, because unfortunately the books are becoming more and more part of the games and influencing what's going on, which is very clear by the ending of Ruin. So kind of hard to say if it's even the Glitchtrap thing anymore, because that part is slowly not making sense. And I really hope it's not, they don't do the thing where it's like, oh, it was the Mimic the whole time doing all this bad stuff. I really hope they don't do that, because that's already a fucking cop-out if they do that. I mean, it was a cop-out already when they said the previous games were just games and not canon. Well, they're partially canon, I should say. We don't know what parts of them are true anymore. We just know some of them might be true. But we're most likely never going to get details on that until, I don't know, probably towards the end of the series or something, where it's like, okay, here's the game that answers all the questions, assuming it even does that. Well, yeah, there's that with Vanessa, but even then, what was the point of all that, since they fucking trashed her entire arc? All the things they set up for her, they just scrapped. Didn't even bother. Didn't even try. They just went like, oh yeah, we're gonna promote all this stuff in the promotional material, and then none of that appears in the game. Not a single thing. So all of that built up for that character, which would have been great if they had fucking did it, was for nothing. All that build up, all that promotion for nothing. And then not only did they do nothing with her, they even nerfed her by getting rid of her knife. Like, they watered her down. Because God forbid a fucking game about capturing / killing kids has a character with a knife. Like, Ruin does deserve credit for actually being scary and, you know, making some decent decisions, but it still suffers from questionable writing, I will say. I won't say 100% is bad, but the stuff they keep tossing in just builds up more and more questions. And it just feels like we're just always going to get more questions and very few answers to anything. And then the stuff that they are adding that are becoming parts from the books is just becoming more dumb. Because now it's like, oh, here's this thing that's been hidden away underneath the fucking Pixaplex, and everyone's like, why was it there in the first place? And then you gotta figure out what parts of the books are true, because obviously not everything in the books is canon, because it's impossible based on the several stories that they've been doing. But now you gotta figure out how it's canon, or how can it be the way it's being presented. Which is why I still feel that FNAF just being about ghosts was probably the best approach that the series could have ever done. But the problem is that Scott felt the need of explaining things. Well, no, explaining things was fine. The problem was that he was overdoing it. But now it's Steel Wool working on it, and God knows what the hell Steel Wool has that are allowed to contribute, because it's hard to tell if it's Steel Wool adding in these ideas, or if it's Scott adding in these ideas, or whoever else is in charge. And it's just making more and more complications, because now it's like, okay, now you have to read the books just so you might get a hint of what the next game will be about, or the next DLC, or whatever. And it's just overcomplicating things. But yeah, Vanny got screwed hard in terms of character development and story. It's like they set her up for 2 games, and, well, air quotes 2 games, because AR is a questionable thing in itself, but they set her up and then did nothing. If that is true, that there's supposed to be DLC that's supposed to set all that up, then they need to hurry the fuck up and put it out. They also need to fix the bug where it's currently impossible to find Bonnie normally in the game without hacking. And they've already said that that's actually a bug that they need to fix. Because apparently the bug is like, if you go through the chapter select to try to find all of the wet floor bots, the game won't recognize that you found them in the previous chapters. So the only way to get Bonnie legitly is to do it from the very start of the game. Like, you have to do it from the very beginning, and then go from there without chapter skipping. And then it's just a matter of if the game triggers anything for you finding Bonnie and deactivating all the signs. It probably won't, but hopefully it'll do something. because it does do something when you deactivate the bots that are near Bonnie, but I don't know what happens if you get to it legitly. But yeah, hopefully if they are going to make that DLC, hopefully it fleshes out a few things. And hopefully we'll get to see the characters acting normal before they get corrupted. Because I think that would be a big plus if they did that. And then already there's a character that's in the game files that doesn't appear in the game at all, but the character has I think the character has animations. But yeah, there's already another model in the game, which is questionable. It's like, why did you guys leave that in if you weren't going to use it? Which on one end that's a good idea because, you know, FNAF is always full of secrets, but on the other end it's like, okay, here's Steel Wool not coming through, or not, you know, committing to whatever it is they're doing. Because Steel Wool is more known for their environments and not everything else. So they can tell a decent story through the environments, but the rest is a work in progress. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it for tonight. I'll continue and finish up this guy, and then I'll probably post him on Patreon just to show his artwork. Well, I'll probably do that after I make a card for him. But yeah, I'll probably finish him up offline. Well, obviously I will finish him up offline, and then I will get to working on iHat and Black Circus. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming. Yeah, I will probably stream again Tuesday. Well, I mean, I'm most likely going to stream again Tuesday, since that's the usual. But I will see you guys next time, alright? You guys have a good night, / morning, / afternoon, and you guys be safe, okay? Bye-bye.